Thoroughbred Week with John Henderson is presented by Adena Springs, Ashford Stud, Bloodstock Research, Brandywine Farm, Breeders' Cup, Claiborne Farm, Crestwood Farm, Darby Dan Farm, Gainesway, GLC 5500, Keeneland, Juddmont Farm, Lanes Inn, Malone's, Margot Farm, OCD Pellets, Pin Oak Stud, Quillen Leather and Tack, Sally Horse Vans, Shadwell Farm, and Windstar Farm.
Hello everyone, Carl Nathy filling in for John Henderson on this edition of Thoroughbred Week, featuring 11 stakes from 8 tracks, including a stretch duel in the Grade 2 San Fernando Stakes. We begin with sprinting fillies and mares at Laurel Park in the What a Summer Stakes. Bold Affair, the 3-5 favorite. Dave Rodman picks up the call.
3 to go in the What a Summer, and it's Bold Affair striding up on the outside to take the lead. Dance to Bristol, Defy Gravity. Silver Heart is in 4th under a drive, and then it's Island Bound, followed the outside by Parvenu and Maid to Lover, and Enchanté is dropped out to last. Straightening in for home now, Abel Castellano Jr. giving Bold Affair her cue to quicken up now, and indeed she does. Bold Affair suddenly 3 in front from Dance to Bristol, Defy Gravity, Silver Heart, and then in between horses Enchanté, it's Bold Affair. Well, she didn't want to get in the gate, but she's certainly done some running again here at Laurel.
After acting up at the gate, odds-on favorite Bold Affair draws off to defeat Dance to Bristol by 4.5 lengths. The winner under high weight of 124 pounds and Abel Castellano Jr. in 110-3. A 5-time stakes winner in Maryland last year, Bold Affair ran 3rd as the favorite in the 38 Go-Go Stakes in her latest. Howard Wolfendale trains the Maryland-bred 5-year-old mare by 2 punch. Bold Affair has earned nearly $600,000 racing for her breeders, Chuck Reed and Mike Zanetta. Bold Affair paid $340 to win and is the Malone's favorite of the week, presented by Malone's, Lexington's favorite steakhouse. To Oaklawn Park for the opening day feature, the 5th season stakes. Endorsement, the 7-5 favorite, Frank Miramati picks up the call.
8 lengths covers them midway on the far turn. Double Rah-Rah still in front. Endorsement a half length back second. Do No Harm 3 wide third. Master Rick 4th. It happened again on the outside. Sky Ring inside of him. Win Willie in the orange colors is only 4 lengths off the lead, and Win Willie means business, trying to find some racing room as the field turns for home. Endorsement on the outside of Double Rah-Rah. Just behind them, Do No Harm, Master Rick in the pink running a big one. Win Willie looking for racing room. Sky Ring is also in the thick of it. They're coming to the 16th pole. Do No Harm, Master Rick go on with it. Win Willie gets room late on the inside. It's Do No Harm, the leader. Win Willie's trying to get him, as is Sky Ring between them. A driving finish goes to Do No Harm. He scores in the 5th season.
13-1 long shot, Do No Harm by Lane's End stallion Lemon Drop Kid. Holds off Sky Ring by a neck. Cliff Berry aboard the Keeneland Sales Graduate in 149 flat. 4 wins in a row for Do No Harm, who was last seen taking the Samstown Stakes at Delta Downs. The 4-year-old gelding was bred in Kentucky by Double Eagle Ranch and was a $57,000 Keeneland September yearling. Trained by Brett Calhoun, Do No Harm has earned $182,000 for Wayne Sanders and Larry Hirsch. Watch Thoroughbred Week replays online at tbredweek.com. Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with the California Derby coming up in this segment. 3-year-old stakes action is presented by BC2A Paste. Reduce the likelihood of tying up with BC2A Paste. We begin with 3-year-old fillies at Tampa Bay Downs in the Gasparilla Stakes. Vita Meta, the 9-10 favorite. Richard Grunder picks up the call.
That's the 10 of them with 3 furlongs to run in the Gasparilla. Vitamita, the favorite on the outside, moves up to put ahead in front of Talent and Passion. Then it's a length and a half farther back. Cindy's Casino from the outside. Floral Sky is now being set down for the drive as they turn into the stretch. 3/16 of a mile to run. Vitamita, the leader. Cindy's Casino runs at her on the outside. Martha's Moon and Paco Lopez with a ground-saving trip inside the final furlong. Here's Martha's Moon. Vitamino, Cindy's Casino is absolutely coming with a huge effort on the outside. Vitamino battles back gamely over Cindy's Casino.
Odds-on favorite Vita Meta gets up to take the photo by a neck over 60-1 long shot Cindy's Casino, who has a neck on Martha's Moon. Jose Cruz, the winning jockey, in 123-4. Vita Meta concluded her 2-year-old campaign with a runner-up finish in the Sandpiper Stakes at Tampa Bay, and she gets her first stakes victory in her 3-year-old debut. The filly by Street Sense was bred in Kentucky by her owner, Arundel Farm. Trained by David Fox, Vita Meta has earned $77,000. To Aqueduct for 3-year-old fillies in the Ruthless Stakes. Kimono, the 9-5 favorite, John Imbrial, has the call.
Kiss the Lady, now in front by a full length over Little Rocket. Lady Banks on the outside in third. Length and a half to Railtown Girl in fourth. Then My Kind of Party and Kimono still trails. They're at the head of the stretch. The half mile in 47 seconds. Kiss the Lady to 1 to catch. It's Kiss the Lady in front. Here's Lady Banks on the outside. Little Rocket is down at the rail. They pass the furlong marker. It's Kiss the Lady and Lady Banks. Lady Banks takes over from Kiss the Lady, and it will be Lady Banks to take the Ruthless.
Lady Banks runs by Kiss the Lady to win by 2 lengths. Eddie Castro up in 112 flat. Trainer James Lawrence instructed Castro to keep Lady Banks close to the pace over the muddy track, and the filly responds in her stakes debut. Second in her first out, Lady Banks was coming off a maiden victory over the track and trip. The Ontario-bred filly by Successful Appeal was a $110,000 yearling and a $130,000 OBS March 2-year-old. Lady Banks has earned nearly $95,000 for George and Stephanie Autry. Entering stud at Crestwood Farm is Country Day, a versatile son of leading sire Speightstown. Country Day won or placed in 8 stakes, earning over $500,000. Country Day stands for $5,000 live foal. Share the Upside is available. Back to Tampa Bay Downs for the Pasco Stakes. The entry of Dynamic Sky and Sky Commander bet down to 3-5. Once again, here's Richard Grunder.
They swing around the far turn. Mind Spell along the rail. And Divine Ambition is right there second. Sky Commander on the outside third. Dynamic Sky. Contreras has a ton of horse and needs racing room. With a quarter of a mile to run, and now the pace quickens. Mind Spell and Centeno goes to work. Divine Ambition and Willie Martinez are hanging tough. Dynamic Sky has had a horrendous trip. Now he goes out over heels, and he's set down for the drive. With a furlong to run on the outside. Here comes Dynamic Sky with Sky Commander. The Oxley entry is 1-2 in deep stretch. It'll be a civil war between those two. Dynamic Sky, very impressively, 3 parts of a length.
The entry mates run 1-2 with Dynamic Sky getting up to defeat Sky Commander by 3/4. The winner under high weight of 120 pounds, and Luis Contreras in 122-3. Dynamic Sky and Sky Commander are owned by John Oxley and are trained by Mark Cassie, and both colts are sired by Sky Mesa. Winner of the Simcoe Stakes at Woodbine and second in the Grade 1 Dixiana Breeders' Futurity, Dynamic Sky was making his first start since finishing 6th in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. The winner was bred in Ontario and was a $25,000 Canadian sale yearling. Dynamic Sky has earned $248,000. Luis Contreras with the Safe Ride of the Week, presented by Sally Horse Vans, the safest way to the winner's circle. To Golden Gate Fields for the California Derby. Ziwat, the 9-10 favorite. Michael Rona has the call.
They're at the 5/8 pole with 10 lengths covering the field. Wildcat Moon in charge. Increases the lead again to 2 lengths over Tree of Life. Will True Up. Ziwat running 4th on the outside. He's a length behind Tree of Life. And Bays eases the favourite into the 3 path at the half-mile pole. 2.5 lengths to My Best Bet. 1 to Butterfly Soul and Condiment on the inside. To the 3/8 pole, it's Wildcat Moon by 1 length. The gelded Tree of Life is second. Will True Up the inside on the back of the lead. He's trying to poke through an opening along the inside of Wildcat Moon, but Santiago Reyes really has to work overtime on Will True Up. Meantime, Ziwat's on the extreme outside, and he looms dangerously. Butterfly Soul follows Ziwat into contention at the 3/16 pole, and Ziwat has gone to the lead from Wildcat Moon and Will True Up. Condiment's getting up on the inside. Butterfly Soul flattening out. Ziwat is the leader. Wildcat Moon sticking gamely to his guns, but he cannot match Ziwat. Ziwat, 2 for 2 routing, takes the Cal Derby from a very gutsy Wildcat Moon.
Odds-on favorite Z-Watt by WinStar Farm stallion Harlan's Holiday outfinishes Wildcat Moon by half a length. The Keeneland sales graduate under high weight of 122 pounds and Russell Bays in 146 and 2. Front-running winner of the 1 mile Gold Rush over the track in his previous start, the Jerry Hollendorfer trainee records his third stakes victory. The colt was bred in Pennsylvania by Dairy Meeting Farm and was a $50,000 Keeneland September yearling. Z-Watt has earned $177,000 for Hollendorfer and George Tadaro. The Lanes End Stallion of the Week is record-setting Grade 1 winner Twirling Candy, who bred 118 mares in his first season. As a freshman covering sire, he had a mare sell for $160,000, higher than other freshman sires Tisway, Drosselmeyer, Patio Prado, and Misremembered. Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with the Grade 3 Hal's Hope Stakes coming up in this segment. Presented by Niagara Causeway, a graded stakes winning and track record-setting son of Sire of Sires, Giants Causeway, standing at Margot Farm. We begin at Turf Paradise with the Cotton Fitzsimmons Mile on Turf. Green Secret, the 3-2 favorite, Michael Chamberlain picks up the call.
The quarter mile, 23 and 3, and it is Green Secret on a clear lead here by 2. Tequila Factor is moving at the inside of Saratoga Boot. 3 wide out there is Why Not Be Perfect. They're getting closer to Green Secret now as they continue up the back stretch. Gleam of Hope is up into 5th spot. On the outside, Where's the Remote? Another 2. Tiz Gianni tries to move up at the inside. Grandpa Roy is wide to the turn. Then it's a length and a half to Y Frank and Administer. They're onto that far turn. The half, 47 and 4. And Green Secret has led every step of the way and is still there by 3 lengths. A 4-wide run now from Gleam of Hope, who is coming after this leader. Saratoga Boot is in between horses. Why Not Be Perfect trying to rally. Down at the inside is Tequila Factor. Tiz Gianni comes through between runners, but Green Secret's in front by 4. Tiz Gianni is in pursuit now. Green Secret's in front, but Tiz Gianni is rolling. Tiz Gianni trying to run down Green Secret late. Green Secret, Tiz Gianni, Tiz Gianni!
Tiz Gianni by Adina Spring stallion Giacomo runs by Green Secret to defeat the favorite by a neck. Jake Barton aboard the Keeneland sales graduate in 136 and 4. An allowance winner over the Del Mar Turf Course, Tiz Gianni was coming off a 7th place finish in the Grade 2 Hollywood Turf Cup. Mike Chambers saddled the winner for trainer John Sheriffs. The 5-year-old horse was bred in Florida by Adina Springs and was a $30,000 Keeneland September yearling. Tiz Gianni has earned $163,000 for Desert Sun Stables. To Gulfstream Park for the Fort Lauderdale Stakes on Turf. Morning line favorite Dominus was scratched, leaving Nicky Sandcastle as the 2-to-1 starting choice. Larry Kalmus has the call.
23 flat was the first quarter. Onto the backstretch they go with 50 proof, the leader by a length and a half, and Quick Wit second. And then comes Hollinger and Tiz Sardonic Joe on the outside. Empire Builder is right in behind them. Big Blue Kitten is 5.5 lengths off the lead right now, and then comes Sky Blazer. Nicky Sandcastle's got 6 lengths to make up. Right behind them is Mucho Mas Macho, and Vertiformer's a long way last after a decent half mile in 46 and 4/5 seconds, and they move for the turn. 50 proof and Elvis Trujillo have led every jump so far, and Quick Wit is right alongside in second. Tiz Sardonic Joe is right there waiting to pounce in third. Nicky Sandcastle's going to get a wide trip, gaining some ground, but going up outside of horses. Big Blue Kitten's behind a wall of runners, as is Hollinger, and they're into the stretch. And it's 50 proof. Quick Wit goes by. Tiz Sardonic Joe moves up after them. Big Blue Kitten, Nicky Sandcastle, and Mucho Mas Macho's running huge on the far outside. Here comes Mucho Mas Macho on the outside to win the Fort Lauderdale.
41-1 long shot. Mucho Mas Macho by Adina Spring stallion Macho Uno rallies from last to defeat 19-1 Tiz Sardonic Joe by a head. The winner under co-high weight of 121 pounds and Juan Leyva in 140 and 1. Winner of the Needles Stakes at Calder in September, Mucho Mas Macho closed to finish second in the Grade 2 W.L. McKnight Handicap in his latest. The 4-year-old gelding was bred in Kentucky by Adina Springs and was a $10,000 Keeneland September yearling and a $19,000 OBS March 2-year-old. Trained by Henry Colazzo, Mucho Mas Macho has earned $228,000 for Signal Hill Farms. To Santa Anita for the Grade 2 San Gabriel Stakes, Slim Shady, the 3-2 favorite, Trevor Denman with the call.
They head to the half-mile pole, and it's still Chosen Miracle along the inside, up alongside Fast Track. They have been followed by Temple's Door in the third position. On the far side, Slim Shady goes closer, and now Slim Shady starts to move in, takes the third spot, 2 lengths off them. Behind that, Tail of a Champion, Juniper Pass, and Geronimo, now only 5 lengths covers them all. They come into the top of the lane. Chosen Miracle, Fast Track, Slim Shady now breathing down the neck, third on the far side. Temple's Door going well enough if he can get somewhere to run. Geronimo's joining the fray late. They come to the top of the lane. Chosen Miracle, Slim Shady, Geronimo, extreme outsiders coming fast. Geronimo down the centre of the track now. It's coming home like a steam train. Along the inside, Chosen Miracle tries to keep him at bay, but Geronimo just sweeps right on by a scintillating performance from Geronimo. Geronimo and Rafael Bejarano romp in the San Gabriel.
2-1 second choice Geronimo rallies from last to defeat long shot Temple's Door by 2 3/4 lengths. Rafael Bejarano aboard in 1:46 2. Winner of this race in December 2010, Geronimo finished second in the January 2012 edition. This was his first victory since he captured the Grade 1 Shoemaker Mile in June. The 7-year-old horse by Congaree was bred in Florida by Bryland Farm, a $50,000 OBS August yearling and a $70,000 Barrett's May 2-year-old. Geronimo has a bankroll of $1,197,000. Mike Pender trains the veteran Turf Star for B.J. Wright. To Gulfstream Park for the Grade 3 Hal's Hope Stakes. Chaba, the 9-5 favorite. Once again, here's Larry Colmus.
44 3 for the half mile. Around the far turn, and here's Pence on Fire. Pence on Fire makes his move. Soldat on the far outside is coming on. Good Morning Diva Associate. Chaba's under a full-out drive, and Pool Play continues to make progress in the back of the field. He's coming wide. He's 7 lengths behind at the top of the stretch. Pence on Fire is the leader. On the outside, Soldat. Good Morning Diva at the rail. Chaba right behind them. Pool Play on the far outside is continuing to close, and he's down the center of the track. Here comes Pool Play on the far outside. Pants on Fire at the rail. Chaba comes on through. Chaba won it!
Favored Chaba takes the blanket finish by a neck over Pool Play, who has a neck on Pants on Fire. The winner under co-high weight of 121 pounds, and Luis Saez in 135 3. Chaba started his current 4-race streak with a pair of impressive stakes wins at Calder, and the Phil Gleaves trainee opened the Gulfstream meeting with a 3 3/4 length victory in the Harlan's Holiday Stakes. The 4-year-old colt by Kitten's Joy was bred in Kentucky by Ken and Sarah Ramsey. Chaba has earned $372,000 for Bruce Hollander and Carrie Shapoff. Shackelford, a 3-time Grade 1 winner and earner of over $3 million, is now available for inspection at Darby Dan Farm. Contact Ryan Norton to make an appointment. Time now for the feature race of the week, presented by Keeneland, investing in racing's future since 1936. To Santa Anita for 4-year-olds in the Grade 2 San Fernando Stakes. Bob Baffert sent out 3 of the 9 starters, including 4-1 favorite Mile High Magic. Here's the call by Trevor Denman.
And away they go. Mile High Magic was off slow. Fed Biz broke very well, and Fed Biz goes straight to the front. Handsome Mike goes through on the inside. Regulus down at the rail. Tribal Jewel going to be caught a little wide, as is Tri Tap, as they all line up into the turn. Then we come back to Guilt Trip in the pink colours, 5 off them. Pace is solid up there, but they're not flying. Then we come back to Mile High Magic, who's gone up to be 3rd last. At the back comes Battle Force and Fly Lexus Fly. 8 lengths would cover the lot. Past the 3/4 pole they go, and Fed Biz sets a sensible pace, leads it by a length. Tri Tap has got in from that outside gate, is right there in second. Handsome Mike down at the rail. They followed by Regulus and Tribal Jewel, only 3 lengths off the leaders. Then back to Guilt Trip in the pink, racing on his own. Mile High Magic is now 6 off those leaders. Battle Force inside of him, and Fly Lexus Fly is at the back. They've run past a half-mile pole now, and it's still Fedbers in front by a length. Tri-Tap right there second. Handsome Mike scrapes the paint in third. Tribal Jewel in fourth. They followed by Regulus. On the far side, Battle Force is getting closer. Battle Force caught wide, but only 3.5 off the leaders. In behind that, Fly, Lexus Fly, and Guilt Trip there, been eased out of it now as Mile High Magic eased. They come to the top of the lane. It's a bunch field. Fedbers goes on for home. Fedbers Tri-Tap the grey, now stretching him every yard of the way. And here's Battle Force joining the fray on the extreme outside. Guilt Trip coming home fast too. Anyone at 4 can win it. Fedbers on the inside. Tri-Tap, these two now down the centre of the track. Guilt Trip, but it's Fedbers on the inside. Gonna just get there. Fedbers in a thriller.
9-1 second choice, Fedbiz by Ashford Stud Stallion Giants Causeway. The front-running winner by a head over Tri-Tap. A 1-2 finish by Keeneland Sales Graduates. Mike Smith, the winning jockey in 142-1, a 107 Briz speed rating. Determined winner by a neck over Jimmy Creed in the El Cajon Stakes at Del Mar. Fedbiz finished 8th when that same rival came back to take the Grade 1 Malibu Stakes on opening day. The 4-year-old colt was bred in Kentucky by Colts Neck Stables. Trained by Bob Baffert, Fedbiz has earned $274,000 for Kaleem Shaw. The colt was consigned by Lane's End agent to the 2010 Keeneland September yearling sale, where he was purchased by Kaleem Shaw for $950,000. Grade 2 San Fernando Stakes winner Fedbiz, the Keeneland Sales Graduate of the Week. Lots more racing next week here on Thoroughbred Week.
Thoroughbred Week with John Henderson has been presented by Adena Springs, Ashford Stud, Bloodstock Research, Brandywine Farm, Breeders' Cup, Claiborne Farm, Crestwood Farm, Darby Dan Farm, Gainesway, GLC 5500, Keeneland, Juddmonte Farm, Lane's End, Malone's, Margot Farm, OCD Pellets, Pin Oak Stud, Quillen Leather and Tack, Sally Horse Vans, Shadwell Farm, and Windstar Farm. Online at tbredweek.com.